Welcome to Teacher Technology Tutorials with Jason Soliskar. Hi, I'm Jason Soliskar. Today we're going to look at a lesson. We're going to find out area in irregular shapes. But we're going to use certain technology tools such as Dropbox. We're also going to use QR codes. We're going to look at Google Drawing as to host those QR codes. And then of course we're going to use our iPad. So this workflow involves all of these technology tools in teaching area using irregular shapes. So let's go ahead, let's get started. So here we are with our iPad. One of the things I did before I started the tutorial and some of the things I did to prep for my lesson was that I created my problem using pages. So here's my problem, and I just created this shape of a regular shape that I'm going to find the area of. And I created that in Pages, and I just exported it as a JPEG file because I wanted to be able to bring that into my screencast app, which is Educreations. And so what I'm going to do is that I've created this link by putting my file in Dropbox. And so by putting it in your public folder in Dropbox, I was able to create a link right here. And so here's the link to my file. And with that link, I've went ahead and created a QR code that links to that file. So with my scanner, my QR code scanner on my iPad, students can scan the QR code to bring that file up, to go to that file. So I'm going to demonstrate that right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my scanning app and I'm going to go ahead and scan my QR code. So I've just scanned it, and it takes me to my problem. But I'm not done yet. What I want to do is I want to be able to bring this into my Educreations app to manipulate, to write on, to show my work, whatever. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold on to the picture within my browser, and I get two choices here. One is save image and copy. I want to save the image. That's going to put it in my photo gallery on my iPad. I'm going to close out of that. I'm going to go to my Educreations app. I'm going to launch that. I'm going to create a new lesson. So I'm going to tap the new lesson button. And here's my clean slate to work on my problem. But I don't have it, so I need to go get it. So I'm going to click on my photo icon right here. I have three choices: to take a picture, choose from a library, or choose from Dropbox. I've created it and then brought it into the browser, and then I saved it into my photo library. So I'm going to go to choose from library, and in my camera roll, there's my picture. I'm going to select it, and there's my problem. So now I can kind of manipulate, make it smaller, bigger, move it to the side to give me myself some room to work. And so now I can go ahead and go through the steps I've put on the board, on the projector. Again, so far not using any paper. I've used a QR code. Here's the steps. I've used Google Drawing to host the QR codes. I've used Google Drawing to put the steps on there. And so students looking at the projector can scan these QR codes and look at the steps to solve area for irregular shapes. So now what we're going to do is we're going to do step one. Step one is to find either squares, rectangles, or other shapes that you can recognize to easily compute length times width. So as I'm looking at my diagram here on my iPad, my irregular shape, I notice that I can divide these shapes here. So I've created a rectangle, and what's nice, I can use different colors so I can see visually the different shapes. So I can label this A and this B, and I can now go to step two since I've found my two shapes. Step two is to divide the area into those shapes you recognize. We just did that. Step three, we find the length and width of those new shapes. So I'm going to calculate the area for shape A, which is length times width. I'm going to get a new color here. So 8 times 2 is equal to 16. So now I'm going to find the area of my other shape, which looks like a square here, which is length times width. 3 times 5 is 15. So now I go on to step 4, which is to add together all the shapes. I only have 2 shapes, so I'm going to add those together. So 6 plus 5 is 11, regroup. So we have our area for this irregular shape is 31 square feet. And so if I wanted to record this, Educreations app allows me to record. So students can, as they're working on this problem, record the steps. They can record themselves explaining, and once they're done, they can upload it to the Educreations site. So in this tutorial, we talked about integrating technology tools into a regular lesson. Our lesson today was finding area for irregular shapes. We use technology tools such as Google Drawing, our iPad. We use Dropbox. We use QR codes. I mentioned Educreations app. I demonstrated that, how do we bring in that image that was created in Pages, saved in our Dropbox. I linked it to the QR code. That QR code was scanned, brought into the Educreations app. We were able to work on the problem, solve the problem, and if we wanted to record the problem, or if students wanted to record the problem, we can record it, upload it to our site, link into Edmodo, turn it in for a final grade. So we've established this workflow of from beginning to end, from creating to final product, all online using these educational tools. We didn't use any paper. I definitely saved some time. It took longer to make this tutorial than it was to actually make the lesson. So I saved myself some time. Students are more engaged. They enjoy these types of lessons where we're using technology. So I hope you found this useful. You can take this same type of workflow into any other lesson. So I thank you for watching another edition of Teacher Technology Tutorials. So I'll see you on the next tutorial.